Have you ever tried Thai street food desserts? If you haven't, just keep watching. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Leah and I like to share vegan recipes and ideas. If this is something of your interest, please consider subscribing. I would really like to have you here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make traditional Thai dessert called Kanom Krok. It's basically a pancake made out of rice and coconut. It is usually composed of two layers. One is kind of savory or salty, and the other is sweet. And it has some unusual toppings. Are you ready to make Kanom Krok? So let's go! So first we need to measure 500 grams of this Thai coconut pudding mix. If you don't have the mix, you can use the rice flour. I will put everything in the description, all proportions and ingredients, so you can take a look at that. This basically has rice flour is the main ingredient, just a tiny bit of sugar and some wheat flour, so that's basically it. That's enough. Now, if it's easier for you to measure with cups, it's about 4 cups of this rice flour mix here. Next ingredient we need is coconut milk. So I'm just gonna open this up. So now we need to slowly add the coconut milk. Mix, mix, mix. And we're gonna add 4 cups of coconut milk. So it's gonna be about 2 cans of this coconut milk. Now we need to mix it well. Okay, next ingredient we need some I have this hot boiling water here. And we need about 3.5 cups of that. We're gonna set this aside, and this is gonna be our bottom layer, and we're gonna work on the top layer. Okay, so now we're gonna make the top layer, which we basically need to get the coconut cream. So I have this coconut milk here, but I kept it in the fridge for overnight, and basically I'm just gonna open it up and scoop the top off, and the bottom is basically like coconut water. So you can use it in a different recipe, add it to some curry or some other recipe that needs coconut water. But we're just gonna use the coconut fat that's on the top. Alright, let's take a look. Hopefully we have the cream going on here. Okay, good. So we need 1 cup of coconut cream. So I'm just gonna scoop all this coconut fatness. I'm gonna carefully scoop this out, so I wouldn't mix it together with the coconut water. We need to get 1 cup. Oh, I see the water coming through. Now I don't want to mix that, so as you can see, I'll put this away for another recipe. Next, we need a little bit more because we need to fill it up, this cup. Alright, that's a little bit more than enough, but it's okay. We'll use it all. Now I'm just gonna transfer this to this bowl, and we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients, mix it up, and it's gonna be our top layer. The next ingredient that we need to add is powdered sugar. We need 1/2 cup of that. I have not tried making this with coconut sugar, so I'm not sure if it's really gonna work, because they kind of supposed to be white. Coconut sugar gives this dark brown color, so I'm not sure about that. Now we also need a little bit of salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I have a 1/2 teaspoon here, and gonna need a little more. Now I'm going to mix this up. This is gonna be our top layer. try to mix it well. I should have sifted the sugar, but I don't know why I didn't. So I'm gonna have to mix this well together. Okay, so this is gonna be our top layer. So next ingredient is very interesting, that you can barely find this kind of ingredient in a dessert. So when I first tried this dessert, I was like, what? Scallion? Scallion in a dessert? That's kind of unusual, but it actually works really well. It gives this interesting and unique taste to it. So I highly recommend scallions. And another topping I'm gonna use also corn. And okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna chop it. I usually just cut the ends off, and then I put it in a glass with water. Let me just get the water. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, and in a few days it's gonna grow, and I'm gonna cut it again, and then it's gonna grow again. So it's about 2 times more. So I buy 1 bunch and I get 2 bunches free. Little tip for you guys. Now I need to cut the scallions very thinly. We're not gonna use all the scallions, we're just gonna use a very little, but I'm gonna cut all of them and use it in a different recipe. I'm just gonna use it in a salad or something like that, or sprinkle over like noodles or anything you like. So I just keep it in the fridge and it lasts for about a week. I can just keep on sprinkling on my dishes. So it's like a little food prep hack. I try to do the same thing with cilantro. I don't know, I tried putting cilantro like in a cup with water, cover it with the bag and put it in the fridge, but for some reason it just didn't work for me. I don't know. So what I do the same with cilantro. I buy it from the store, and the same day I have to chop it, wash it and chop it, and I store it like this for almost up to a week. It lasts in an airtight container with a little bit of like paper towel in there, and that works. I can just sprinkle it whenever I need to. Okay, so this is ready. We're gonna put this aside and we're gonna go back to the stove now. All the ingredients are prepared. We have our bottom layer, we have our top layer, we have corn and scallions. And this is where we're gonna cook these little Thai pancakes, Kanom Krok. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil because it's gonna stick to it if I don't. So, and then we're just gonna turn on the stove and gonna make it hot, and we're gonna start cooking. So I have sunflower oil. I'm gonna use a little bit of that, but you can use any type of high heat oil. You can see it's a little bit smoky already. Now I don't want so much oil, I just want a little bit so it doesn't get stuck. So you just want to grease this. I need my oven mitt because this thing is hot. So I'm just gonna use a little piece of cloth to kind of smoosh it around. Okay, that's enough. And fill it up about 2/3. Because you kind of gotta cook it on high heat, high to medium heat or medium to high heat. So now what we need to do, we need to put it on like a medium heat, cover it, and set the timer for 3 minutes. Let it cook for 3 minutes, then we're gonna open and put the other ingredients. Okay, so I'm gonna open and check it now. It's been about 1.5 minutes, and they look like they're getting ready, so I don't want to cook them more because we still need to fill up the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna put it on low heat now because I see the edges are browning a little bit. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our top layer, which is the sweet layer, and we're gonna put a little bit of that. And in addition to that, we are going to put the toppings. So I'm gonna make half of them with corn. This was just frozen corn that I just boiled a little bit. And I'm just gonna put 3 in each. Next one, I'm gonna put some scallions. So I put a couple of scallions. You don't want to put too much, and at the same time you do want to put at least a couple. Gives this very interesting, unique flavor. I had no idea it would ever work, but it's magically, amazingly delicious. Alright, I'm gonna cover this up. Put the heat on low to medium heat now, and I'm gonna cook this for 1 minute. Let's see what it looks like. Now I need a little bit more fire. I think it needs another minute. And let's take a look. Alright, I see the edges are turning even darker. You see this one, for example? That means we have to take it out. So I'm gonna use a spoon and a fork. And I'm gonna put it on the plate. I'm gonna lower heat actually to the lowest right now because I don't want them to be burning. Next one. Now, just need to kind of clean it a little bit. Use the same brush, I'm just gonna brush it a little bit so it's kind of slightly oiled. Otherwise it will burn. So there are a lot of non-stick Kanom Krok pans available already, so I can link them down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. Okay, so now here comes the bottom layer. First I'm gonna put the fire higher right now. And once again, all we need to do is fill it up. 2/3 of this little cup. You can actually make different kind of cookies or pancakes in this pan also. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna put it on lower to medium heat, closer to medium heat. Cover it up again, set the timer 2 minutes. And we'll be back and see. And take a look. Okay, these look good now. I'm gonna lower the heat again. And now we're gonna fill it up with the top layer. So here's my coconut cream sweet layer. I'm just gonna give it a little stir and fill it up each cup again. This time I'm not gonna put so much because I don't want it to leak around. So just like that. Just a little bit on the top. Okay. Now this whole batch I'm gonna make with scallions. Just gonna put a tiny bit, 2 or 3 pieces or so. I don't know what it is, but they really work with scallions. It's so strange, but so good. Try to use like very thinly sliced ones. Don't put like the fat ones like this. Like I wouldn't put this one. Okay. All right. I think it's enough. I'm going to cover this once again. Put the heat on medium. Okay, and I'm gonna give it a minute to see what happens. If you find Kanom Krok in a store, this is how they usually sell them. They put them together like this, and this is what it looks like. So if you like, you can eat it like this, or you can eat it opened up like this. Anyway, works. So I'm just gonna do a little taste test of this one. I haven't had this dessert in forever, feels like. I even forgot about it. It tastes so good. And this scallion gives this interesting flavor. And you definitely have to eat them fresh, because this way they are nice and crispy on the outside and really nice and soft on the inside. Really good. Now our timer went off. I'm just gonna open this up and cook for maybe another few more seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so, because I want the edges to be nice and brown. I only see these two are getting darker and the rest are still not cooked yet. So we're just gonna give them another maybe minute. We're just gonna cook them open like this. That way we can keep an eye on them. If you see something starting to get brown, it's time to get it out. Okay, so I see they are browning over here already. So I'm just gonna lower the heat and I'm gonna take them out. Same process, I'm gonna use my spoon and a fork. And I'm gonna slide them out. Which one is ready? This one is ready. Oops. And this one looks ready too. See, they are very easy to slide out. I don't want to burn them at the same time. I really want them to crispen up. I'm gonna put the heat a little bit higher so that these guys can cook too. By the way, this can be made completely gluten-free. So you just use the rice flour, not the mix, because mix usually has a tiny bit of a regular wheat flour. So the process is a little bit labor intensive, so you have to do a lot of hands-on things here, but it's totally worth it. Okay, now let's put them all together. This batch makes a lot, so if you want to just try it, you can cut this recipe in 3 and try it. If you make a batch, you can also keep it in the fridge, and then when you're ready to eat, you can just put them in a little toaster or in a frying pan and just toast it, and they're gonna be really good. Leave me a comment if you think scallions are interesting topping for a dessert. So good. It's so sweet. It's crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. It's very yummy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value from this video, and I hope you try this recipe as it is really delicious. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up button if you like this recipe, and don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't done it already. And if you like Thai recipes, I have a playlist for you here, so you can click on it and watch more. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!